Allow me to introduce Melanie Johnston from EnviroCentre, a beautiful soul on a beautiful mission to make the world greener and sustainable from a business perspective. Over to you, Melanie.
Thank you so much, Bernie, and thanks everybody. This looks like an amazing group, so I'm really excited to be here and chat with you all. So, as Bernie said, I've been working with EnviroCentre for just over 10 years. And focused primarily on, or have been focused primarily on sort of residential retrofits and what you can do in your home to save energy and save the environment, sort of one house at a time. Over the last year, though, I've become more and more involved with our business sustainability program, which is ever changing, ever growing, especially in COVID times. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. So again, as Bernie said, EnviroCentre is a local nonprofit, also been around for, I guess we're into our 20th year, so for some time now. Started out as a in a partnership with the city of Ottawa and have gone on to grow and become this amazing group. We have about 20 people that work with us, and we're all super passionate about what we do. And as Bernie said, our mission really is to support sustainable lifestyles and encourage people to take action on climate, like in their own lives with practical things. So again, we're not an advocacy group. We're not here to preach. We are literally here to teach and help and provide tips and tricks on how we can help us save the planet. So yeah, with that, I'll get into my spiel. So in April of 2019, the city of Ottawa declared a climate emergency. And we know that we have a lot of things that we have to do to make some changes and hopefully reduce our carbon impact. The target is to reduce our emissions as a city by 70% in 10 years. So we've got a lot of work to do. One of the things that we know is that businesses are contributing to these emissions through their buildings, through travel, through purchasing, and just their general actions. So Carbon 613 / Your Green Business is really a member-based program where we encourage people to join us and get access to a bunch of information. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through my brand new slide deck, and you'll bear with me as we go through it together. All right, let's see here. There we go. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Great. I'm going to move you guys out of my way, though, if you don't mind. There we go. All right. So Your Green Business, helping your business take action on climate. As one of Canada's 1.2 million businesses, your choices matter. Small choices have a big impact when businesses work together. And you know what? This is actually, there we go. I'm going to move you guys again. My apologies for some of my tech issues. All right. And again, I'm going to have to move you guys over here. All righty. Sorry, having a hard time reading my slides. There we go. Okay, so we'll get you there. As we said, it's a member-based program, and we're trying to meet businesses where they're at. Every business is different, and all sizes, all shapes, and different areas where you are emitting. And so we've really tried to capture how everybody can get involved. We've got two sort of service offerings. I should say we have three. We do have a free tier, and I encourage you to go to Your Green Business online and check out the free resources, tips and tricks and newsletters and all kinds of nifty stuff. But we've also expanded to YGB Online, Your Green Business Online. And this is really for a business that wants to sort of engage your employees, connect with other businesses. So, you know, similar to this group, it's really about connecting, but around sustainability issues. And getting a little bit of light support from our office. You're looking at about $100 a year for this particular program, and it really is a self-service sort of focus. So you'll have access, and we'll go through some slides, and I can show you what is a part of that. when you're ready to move a little bit further and really start to track your carbon emissions and set some targets for reduction is when you kind of want to get into the YGB Hub. And this is depending on your business size, a membership fee between $500 and $4,500, depending on the size of your business, depending on the number of locations. And we focus in this area really about understanding how you're using your energy and how you're emitting and getting a target and really trying to move the needle to actually reduce your GHGs. So some of the resources we've got here on your online, things like green tips. So this is every week we've got some automated tips that just hit your inbox, and you're able to share those with your staff members, or you can have all of your staff members signed up, and things like, how to use green transportation. There'll be some tools and resources there. Also, we do link to just our green lifestyle website as well, which is really about sort of some personal action that you can do at home. But now that we're working at home, they're kind of relevant. Yeah, you have access to something like green business badges. This is a fun thing. These are little monthly activities that you can do, and you can earn a little badge and just show that you're kind of committed to sustainability. Some examples of badges. We just did one. It was no, what was it? It was green lunches. So basically, you want to bring a plant-based, you'll do a plant-based lunch, or a green shopper or local buyer. So we've got a series of these green badges, and again, they're really about engaging your employees or engaging yourself in just sort of learning more about sustainability and trying a little bit at a time. We've got challenges. So for instance, one of the other programs that EnviroCentre runs is Let's Bike. And so this is when we're encouraging people to commute sustainably. It used to be called Bike to Work, but clearly we are not leaving our homes as much these days. So now we just want to get you out and active on a bike, and maybe out of a single occupancy vehicle. Other challenges we've got are some carbon challenges, and so there's some opportunities for you to sort of set some goals and work towards them at your pace. The green business worksheets, I think, are something that I really enjoy. I think this is an opportunity for us to be able to provide some support. And again, this is all self-guided. But for instance, maybe your organization wants to write a sustainability statement, or perhaps get a sustainability page on your website. These are some sheets that are free for you to use, or part of your membership, your $100 a year membership. And you can work through these worksheets, lots of really great information and links, and that really just gets you started on your path to sustainability. Next, we've got ePods. So again, these are learning tools right in your inbox, and they are, we've got quizzes, we've got connect ability, we've got a bunch of different, the term ePod, I guess, is really, it's almost it's a learning tool. So again, more tips and tricks and how you can get engaged. I'm doing not a great job at describing ePods, but that's because I find them a little odd. I'm getting into them. We're working through them as a green team myself, but Evan could talk to us about ePods all day long because I think he designed most of them. Moving on, newsletter, always great. So this is going to help you stay current with, green business happenings, what's happening in the city. It's again got a bunch of tips in it for your green business. So these are some of the things that are again part of this $100 a year membership. Online events. So similar to this group, we've got lots of events, and we also like to link and connect to all the other sustainability or environmental organizations that are doing things in the city, or really across the globe at this point. I was saying every week we've got a green room, so we might have some really interesting speakers in the green room. They're not always interesting. I was on it last week. It was fine. But we like to post some of the other activities that are going on. So, example on this calendar here, we're actually promoting some TED Talks. We're promoting the Canada Green Building Council is doing a bunch of workshops. So we just like to share these types of sustainability activities with our online events. And then we've also got an online discussion forum, which is new, and it is through Slack. It's a Slack channel basically where you can go in and you can connect with other groups. You can engage on topics. There's a bunch of different channels for if you're just looking for news or you want to network. So again, just another opportunity for sharing information. Okay, so the YGB Hub is like I said, it's sort of when you're ready to take that next step. So you've joined YGB Online, you've really decided that, climate is something that you care about and your business is making, wants to make some reductions. And this is when you start to get into a little bit more, you get a little bit more from our office. And that's when you get to talk to Evan all the time, is once you start this stage. And so here you're going to get some personalized sustainability planning. So, we've got staff that are going to help guide you through the stages of your sustainability planning and help you get a strategy that's tailored to your organization. Prior to the whole event starting today, I was saying that, and I think I've got some slides later on that show about this, but we've got businesses that are as small as an owner-operated bed and breakfast, all the way up to the City of Ottawa, Hydro Ottawa, Carleton University, and everything in between. And so depending on where you're at, creating a personalized sustainability plan, could be as simple as how you're purchasing things. Maybe if you're an owner-operated bed and breakfast, you're going to be looking at some smaller targets but they still make a difference. Everybody working together is going to make a difference. And then you get all the way up to, like I said, the City of Ottawa, where, we're looking at massive retrofits required to say their buildings and lighting retrofits. And so we're kind of working with them on tracking their emissions and how they're doing towards their goals. So basically, the Hub program is designed to help you turn your business data and your sustainability goals into an action plan. And so how you can actually move the needle. So you're going to identify areas, and then we're going to help you get there. So for instance, if you've decided that you want to start looking at sustainable procurement, we're going to help you get there. We're going to link you to the right people. We're going to provide you with resources to get you to where you want to be. Target setting is really important. I think we know this all in our personal lives. If you don't have goals for the day, then you end up watching Netflix all day. So the same idea for your business, setting a target and holding yourself accountable. And this is a longer term plan too. So you might have some short term goals, but eventually, you're maybe going to suggest that you want to get to that point where you are reducing your greenhouse gas emissions by 70% in 10 years. We'll work with you on a stepped approach to get there. You're not going to get there overnight. These are baby steps. Impact accounting. So impact accounting is, just to be clear, it is not greenhouse gas accounting. This is really looking at your individual business and the actions and what you can control. So for instance, if you own your facility, there are a lot of things that we can look at. How much natural gas you're using, how much electricity you're using, and make recommendations on lowering that. And this tool measures year over year. So you select your sort of baseline. The first year you join in, you're going to give us a bunch of data. We're going to put it in this tool, and we're going to tell you how your business is performing in relation to greenhouse gas and emissions. And then year over year, as you start to implement some of the changes and the targets that you've set, and you start to reduce, you'll start to see that year over year. And it's really kind of very interesting. I'm actually going to participate in some training tomorrow to get myself even more familiarized with impact accounting. But I must admit that just in our own organization, having been a member of this hub for some time, you know, we've, for instance, reduced our garbage to the point where we weren't putting any out. You know, we had literally reduced our waste to, I think, a half a bag every 2 weeks. So, you know, it's interesting to see in the numbers, I guess. Maybe I'm a numbers geek. Maybe I'm talking to our accounting people here, but looking at charts and visuals often makes a big difference. Green team support is also really key. So depending again on the size of your organization, perhaps you're one person and you're the only member of your green team, or you know, you've got a few staff and you're working together. This is really about engaging your staff and having your staff buy into to the program and to reduction, but as well, some of the things that we've noticed is, you know, when you're looking to retain new talent in this day and age, people want to work for a sustainable organization. They want to work for somebody that has, you know, some area of focus on sustainability. And this is a great way to get people involved. The YGB Hub provides a ton of resources for Green Team, a lot. We spend a lot of time on employee engagement because we feel that that's really the best way to get things moving. If you've got everybody in the organization thinking about it, then things start to happen. And in fact, if you've got your junior staff really engaged, you know, that'll often push your upper management to make some changes where they think they should be made. And then some additional services. So I should mention that this the tiered program, for that sort of $100 membership fee, we went through all the list of things. And then when you get into the hub membership, you still get access to all that other stuff. But then you're going to get additional services like quarterly check-ins with our hub staff. That typically is our good friend Evan. In-person events, these are super popular. So in-person currently means in Zoom. But for instance, we did a fantastic facility walkthrough with IKEA, and it was so interesting, all of the amazing things that they're doing, and literally walked through the whole building and got to see sort of, you know, how their kitchen is working and different things like that. We've done another one with CSB Architects that was super popular because they are a renter, and so it was, you know, what can they do in their building when they don't own the building, and those are super popular. Other in-person events we have networking events. You know, we're working, and perhaps I'll learn a lot from this group because that's a bit of a challenge with some of the Zoom stuff, but we're looking at more networking events. Those are popular with our members for sure. Recognition is a really big thing. So if we scroll looking at this list here, our evening of recognition, this is where we really do, we actually have awards that we'll present to people. So, you know, new businesses that have joined and some of the things they've done, some of our bigger businesses that have set really aggressive targets, we might celebrate those. As part of the program, you also get a yearly report. So this is going to highlight all the things that your group has done, including some of those, you know, badges and e-pods and all of that stuff, just to sort of give you an idea of what you got out of I guess your membership fee for the year. You know, all of the different impacts that you've had. As I mentioned, those facility walkthroughs, I mentioned those in-person events. And then the facility walkthrough, is a completely different thing. Facility walkthrough is when we actually are able to look at your building and help you sort of do an inventory of all the things that are using energy. And in fact, we've moved this to a digital. So now we've created tools so that you can do it yourself. You basically get a fancy checklist and you're able to go through and really identify, I mean, as much as you want or as little as you want on that sheet. And that, I believe, Evan could probably send a link to. We've got these recorded somewhere. And then some of the other benefits would be some discounts on energy audits. So getting an energy audit of your facility would be discounted as part of your membership. Let's see here. So we know that big companies are getting on board with this. You know, Margaret Ann, you were talking earlier about seeing things on your phone. I guess maybe because I'm in the field, I am seeing it a lot. I've noticed that Canadian milk people are, touting their sustainability. McDonald's is talking about their, sustainable beef. Amazon is committed to moving towards electric vehicles, which would have a huge impact. If you've ever been on a highway and seen Amazon trucks everywhere you go. But yeah, large companies are getting on board, which is really exciting. But as I mentioned, I think it's important that we recognize that no matter any size of your building, like no matter the size of your company, you can make an impact on the environment. So on average, just a couple of numbers here, are saving about $397 per ton of carbon that they reduce. So reduced emissions means efficiency, means better business. You're saving money in the end. With impact accounting, we've seen that there's an 11% reduction in your greenhouse gas emissions after 3 years while your businesses grow, and our top performers see 30% reduction by their second year. So in Ottawa, this means you could save 128,000 tons of carbon reduced, and savings of over $50 million for local businesses by implementing reduction targets and really reducing the amount of energy you use. Just an example of a case study, one of our members, Lighten Co., if anybody's familiar with them, they are a local group. They are up and coming. They are fast growing. They do lighting retrofits. So they basically will come into your facility and replace all of your lighting with LEDs. To move away from CFLs or fluorescents or halogens, which generate a ton of heat. This group was going to buy some trucks anyway, and so they replaced them with electric vehicles. So the cost was the same. The payback period was immediate in their case because they were going to purchase vehicles anyway. And they're saving 6.75 tons of greenhouse gases a year with a savings of $2,000 a year. That would be in fuel costs. So, just an example of one of our members and one of the things that they've done. These are another, just a list of some of our members. So as I was saying, I mean, we go, from the Ottawa District, Ottawa Carleton District School Board, which is huge, to Carleton University, the Museum of Nature, and Alt Hotels, all large groups, all the way down to Angela's Bed and Breakfast, and, great groups like Shepherds of Good Hope. Envision is one of our, Envision Insight Group is one of our newest members, super engaged. And so these are all people that you would be able to network with and get more information and learn. That's a big part of being a part of a hub, as you guys know, is you're able to learn from one another and ask questions, So if you're a small business, maybe you're reaching out to Angela to ask her what she did to reduce her greenhouse gas emissions and how was it? Was it hard? Was it easy? You're learning lessons from these members. So IKEA, again, one of our members, and a little blurb about how they love us. But in their particular case, they are a really active member and they show up at all of our events. They're really thrilled to tell their story and they're a very interesting group. I remember when that IKEA was being built, I was furious. I thought, oh my God, you can see this thing from space and there's not one solar panel on that roof, or there's not a garden. I thought like they could probably grow enough food. I mean, it's enormous. And that's all happening. Now of course they're putting solar panels on. They're growing their own food. They actually divert like 100% of their waste, and they're doing a ton of really great stuff. But I didn't know that when I saw them being built. And so this is another example of what you're going to learn as a member. Mike Gifford from Open Concept is always happy to talk about the work we do. I actually think that Open Concept dropped out of our program this year, but he's still a huge supporter of us. That's what happened. Unfortunately, with COVID times, there were some businesses that were not going to be able to continue, but Mike is always at our events and loves us to death, and that's great. So he wrote us a little story. And then Catherine McKenna, Minister of Infrastructure and Communities, has been super supportive of the program program. And again, we're able to tap into resources. So these members, larger members, are able to share a lot more with us that we can then pass down to other people in the community. So our hub is part of a much larger national group, Green Economy Network. The map doesn't do it justice, but there are members all over the country. It started in Southern Ontario and is slowly starting to grow. We've moved out west a little bit out east. Each hub is a little bit different. They do things differently, different things. It really, it depends on your geography. In fact, in Ottawa, at one point under this particular program, we couldn't enroll a member if they didn't own their building. And we went back to Green Economy and said, that doesn't work for us in Ottawa. In Ottawa, we have a huge percentage of renters, and these people still want to be able to take part in this program. And so we're going to open it up. And they said, okay, go for it. And now other hubs are learning from our example and opening up the opportunities to tenants. And so really that's kind of where we're at. We've got a decade to make a difference, and we're hoping that people want to jump on board and take part. So at a minimum, hop onto Your Green Business and at least join the free tier and start to get access to some of the free services that we offer. And with that, that's where we're at.